Hello, my name is Rodríguez and today I am going to explain you my final project exam for the Educational Resources and ICT subject. For the last few weeks, I've been working on a teaching project which I focused on the topic of living things, specifically on animals. It belongs to the third contents block of natural science of the third primary school year. To continue, I am going to introduce the competencies, contents, and standards to be acquired with this teaching project. Children will work on various competencies. The first one is the language communication, because they will be asked to do a presentation. Secondly, they will work on the basic competencies in science, as they will be studying the topic of living things. The digital competence will also be carried out, since they will work with 3 different technological tools in their tablets. The contents children are going to study are the following ones: vertebrate and invertebrate animals, characteristics and classification, relationships between living things, food chains, living things, characteristics, classification and types, interest in the observation and the careful study of all the living things, and the use of technological means to study living things. The standards students may follow are: classifies animals according to their characteristics, classifies vertebrate and invertebrate animals according to their characteristics, uses technological means in the different works it performs, observes expressing certain accuracy and strictness in the undertaking study, demonstrates a certain accuracy and strictness in the observation and elaboration of undertaking works. Before explaining it, I am going to define what ACAT means, as I am going to use this framework to describe each part of the plan. Activity-centered analysis and design, as its name denotes, is a framework intended to support both the analysis and design of complex learning environments. The main object regarding this configuration is the activity itself, as the learning process is based on people's actions. ACAT involves 3 dimensions: set, epistemic, and social designs. The set designs comes with physically situating the learning activity. It gathers all the tools used to support learning. The epistemic design compromises the tasks proposed to the students and the things that could be considered useful and good for them. Finally, the social design involves the way in which people work together, if they should work in big or small groups, or in pairs or alone. That said, I am going to start explaining the teaching project. My 3rd grade students are going to focus on studying animals, a unit which belongs to the living things block of natural sciences. Before starting the activities, I will explain the whole unit in class, following the book and screening some videos from Natural Geographic, which will function as an introduction. Then they will be ready to start working on the topic. They are required to use Quiver, Genially, and Quizlet as technological tools to practice with them. First of all, I will print some images of animals from Quiver for children to choose one of them according to the animal they like the most to describe it. Once they have the picture, they will need to color it and scan it with the app in their tablets. The picture will be shown in virtual reality. In that way, they will be able to observe the different parts of the animal and have a first contact with it. They will also be required to differentiate the different parts of the body of its corresponding animal. To continue, students will need to create a presentation in Genially based on the chosen animal. They will explain their main characteristics, what they eat, and what is their natural habitat, among other things. After that, they will present it to their schoolmates in class. The presentation should last between 4 and 5 minutes. In that way, all of them will learn new things about a wide range of animals. Lastly, they will prepare some cards about the animals their mates have explained in Quizlet. They will write the name of an animal on one side of the card and a short definition on the other side of the card. Thus, they will be reviewing all the content seen in class while creating the cards, as well as they will be able to revise it whenever they want. Although each one of them is going to scan an image, perform the presentation one by one, and prepare the cards individually, they are going to collaborate in the learning process of their mates, as their presentations will serve others to learn some things about different animals. The ethical problems these tools could present would be the following ones. In the case of Quiver, interaction between peers is not really supported, the app cannot be customized, and it does not require any great cognitive effort from the students while using it. Genially needs the creation of an account for using it, and it also includes so many things that it could be difficult to use it. I mean, it could be more intuitive. You can't communicate with other users either. Related to Quizlet, it can be used offline, and for creating the account, all users must provide personal information to a third party. The added value of using Quiver in this case is that children will have extra motivation while doing this part of the activity. I am referring to the fact that practicing with the help of virtual reality activities could make children feel they are playing instead of studying, and this is so positive for them in order to learn. Related to Genially, it is a visual way of learning, at the same time as teaching to their mates any content they are working with. When doing a presentation, you are able to add whatever you are thinking of, and this is so cool because it could be more organized and easier for you to make a presentation in an online tool than writing all the information on a blackboard. Quizlet makes the activity of creating cards more present, interactive, and enjoyable. It is also easier to share the work they have done with their friends, as well as to conserve it and take a look whenever they want. The added value of using these digital tools is that in the future I will have already practiced with them, and so I will know how they work. Using technological means is also important for the personal development of anyone. We live in a digital world in which it is necessary to know how technology functions. It doesn't matter if we like them or not. Doing this activity from home does not mean any important change, assuming that almost all of the children have a computer and internet access at home. If not, schools should provide children with the specific technological resources and devices, like the tablets, to allow them to work from home, if they have this kind of obstacle. The only thing that must be changed is the presentation, since students won't be able to carry out the performance at the class. To resolve this, they will need to record themselves and upload the presentation video to a shared file in which all of the members of the class will have the opportunity to watch their schoolmates' works. I am going to evaluate this task with a rubric, which is this one. I will assess whether children know the different levels of classification of living things according to their characteristics, if they have learned how to use technological means showing interest in the study of living things and respect for them, if they classify vertebrate and invertebrate animals, and if they demonstrate a certain accuracy and strictness in the observation and elaboration of the undertaken work. This rubric would be organized from unsatisfactory going through satisfactory and very good until excellent. I have decided to use this method because it proposes a more accurate measurement of the child's performance, that at the same time makes him aware of the areas in which he has to improve, and it also helps to save teachers' time. In the second part of the video, I am going to answer some questions. The first element I've chosen for including it in my personal learning environment is Canva, as it provides us with lots of different formats for creating our own designs. To continue, I would like to keep the privacy and ethics on EduTools Google document because I think it could be very useful for doing my future projects, as well as the rubric for e-learning tool evaluation, to know if the tools I am using are appropriate enough for me. The hour of code has been such a discovery for me. It is so helpful for my future as a teacher, in order to give my students a different way of learning by playing games. To finish, I'll say I would like to be able to have a look to the Padlet in which Linda has collected the blogs of all the class groups of RICT 2021 whenever I want. We have posted all the information related to the task of educational resources and ICT there, and I think it might be very practical to conserve it. The first element from the teaching competence for a digital code that I have chosen is generators and managers of emerging educational practices. It means that teachers need to have studied the theoretical content related to pedagogy, and they also need to have put it into practice, as well as having used ICTs in order to innovate their activity. A person could be an expert in any area, but it doesn't mean he is going to be able to transmit his knowledge to other people in a good way, and this is crucial. The second one is being sensitive to the use of technology from the social commitment perspective. It involves using technology in a good and legal way, protecting the students' private data. This is essential because the school is an institution in which all its participants have the right of being safe and alive. And nowadays, it is even more important to take care of that, living in a society in which technology develops as fast as it does. Finally, the last element which I consider very important is being able to use technology to expand his relationship with the student's family and environment. In order to build a good teaching practice, it is important to know what is about each student's personal situation outside the classroom. Having facilities to talk to the families is the best way to obtain this information. The last question involves the following ones. I am concerned that all of us have put an enormous effort into this subject. To be honest, we sometimes needed to ignore other subjects to work on this one, and I know this is not the correct way of doing things, but I am telling this only for you to have a quick overview. On the other hand, I think I can always make an effort in doing my best and become a better student, so I think I earn an 8 out of 10. I say that the most important role could be the journalist. With this role, you are able to relate all what has happened during the week. In my opinion, it is so important to remember what our mistakes have been, if we want to learn from them and not to repeat them. The most challenging role I have performed is the analyst. I had to assess my peers, which in this case coincide with my friends. Sometimes it could be difficult to do so because you may want to give them all the higher marks without wondering if they have performed well or not. And that's all. I am very thankful for your attention and I really hope you have learned something and enjoyed watching this video. Wish you good summer holidays. Bye bye!